Hello, I'm Nostradamus, and this is Phone Age News, letting the world know just how fucked we all are. I've got quite a bit to get through today. I've got a lot of tabs open, so you'll have to excuse me if the computer's a bit sluggish. I'm going to start with this article from the BBC. Ozone layer. Banned CFCs traced to China, say scientists. Researchers say that they have pinpointed the major source of a mysterious recent rise in a dangerous ozone-destroying chemical, just when you thought it had disappeared. CFC-11 was primarily used for home insulation, but global production was due to be phased out in 2010 because it was fucking up the ozone layer, the big hole in Antarctica, which only just started to heal. But scientists have seen a big slowdown in the rate of depletion over the past 6 years. CFC-11, also known as trichlorofluoromethane, got it right first time, is one of a number of chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, that were initially developed as refrigerants during the 30s. However, it took many decades for scientists to discover that when CFCs break down in the atmosphere, they release chlorine atoms that are able to rapidly destroy the ozone layer, which protects us and everything else from ultraviolet light. A gaping hole in the ozone layer over Antarctica was discovered in the 80s. Well, we all know about that. Blah, 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 and they set the worldwide ban on it because they knew how dangerous it was. However, in 2018, a team of researchers monitoring the atmosphere found that the rate of decline had slowed by about 50% after 2012. Oh, and look where it's coming from! What a surprise! No wonder they did 10% growth every year the last decade. At any cost. Growth at any cost. Blah, 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 blah. 110% rise in emissions has been calculated from parts of China. They are the boom years. Study based on spikes in the data on air that comes from China. They don't give a fuck. And it's all, everywhere's unregulated. They've got all the unregulated factories. They can pump out whatever shit they like, and there's no comebacks. They can do whatever they fucking like. And who's going to stop them? Nobody. I think with this study, it is beyond doubt that China is the source of these unexpected emissions, and we would hope that China is leaving no stone unturned to discover the source of the CFC production. Unless the production of the chemical is shut down, it will be near impossible to end the use and emissions in the phone companies. And all that can be found in the journal Nature. And it'll just get worse. Staying on the subject of crap going up into the atmosphere, I want to show you some sulfur dioxide emissions. This is back from showing the total column of sulfur dioxide on cams. This is from the 19th. Still got the ongoing massive emissions from Siberia. I'm going to do a little short update momentarily, but first I want to draw yourself to this in Canada, which popped up, as I say, on the 19th. So we're going to go over to the North American view. Just have a zoom in a little bit. and there it is in more detail. Have a look on the surface. Quite a large emission, as you can see. And we'll skip a couple of days. Don't want to go every single day. We go. It's still going off. And most recent one from today. It seems to calm down a little bit. But I've noticed it tends to flare up in the afternoons. Right, so we're going to go back to the 20th, the day after it started. Right, there we go. Plenty coming up there. And also quite a bit of methane came up. Is coming up. You can see the big splodge. I'll show you the total column and the surface levels of each these pollutants. Right. I'm going to go through every single gas on the list and show you it's got everything coming out. There's carbon dioxide, very large concentration. Carbon monoxide. Look at all that shit off the scale. Look at the surface. Look at that. It's white in the middle. Off the scale. There's some shit coming up here. Just see if it's still coming up. I checked yesterday because I don't think all today's data's in yet. Yeah, there you go. Today it's still on. Right, let's have a look at formaldehyde. See if there's any of that. Boosh! Off the scale in the white. Look at surface. Really bad toxic shit coming up. This is Siberia, it's just sulfur dioxide. What we got? Nitrogen dioxide. Have we got any of that? Oh, plenty of that too. There's a little bit of white there. That's maximum off the scale. Okay. Ozone. Any ozone coming up? Surface. Yeah, we've got ozone. And we started with sulfur dioxide. So basically we've got every noxious gas in the periodic table coming up through there. Fire activity analysis. Because I was wondering what's causing this, and it doesn't really tell you much. So I thought I'll have a little delve and see if we can track down what's causing it. So I went on Worldview, looking at fire anomalies. There's two little dots there. Ooh, and then it looks like a fire's flaring up. And then we've got all these smoke plumes in Canada. And then the next day. And the next day, still going. Looks like we've got a couple more starting over there. Anything from today yet? No, I've not got the data in from today. I'm early today. Early start. Anyway, that's too far out. go back when it all started. Look at the gases coming up. Something must be over here as well. Look at that thick, toxic crap. Oh, you need a mask if it was over there. Bloody awful. Just look how far it's spreading. It's right across the continent. Some emissions, that is, and it's just toxic crap. So next I wanted to know just how high these emissions were. You can get a good reading on Earth Null School. This is the same area, and we're on chemicals, sulfur dioxide, and this is from mid-afternoon when the emissions are highest. It drops in the night and then comes up during the afternoon. Not like the Siberian one, which is continuously all day. I mean, remember, we've got over 2,000 highs in Siberia, and these are high, 789, 800. This is from yesterday afternoon. Let's check the day before. Look at that, 893. And it drops down to 600, 500. Then it goes back up to 6. So it looks like we've two separate sources there within that one little mass. See if that was the worst. Hang on. This is, yeah, that's 4 o'clock. And you go to 7 o'clock local time and it goes down. So 4 o'clock's the highest. Day before, this is on the 20th. Quite pretty breezy there, so it's getting spread out quicker. On the 19th, no. You see we've got pretty high sulfur dioxide coming up. Let's have a look at the other gases. Carbon monoxide, that was high on cams. I don't know what to compare these figures to, but the background is 107-ish. 100 and a bit, normal. Here we've got 17,550. No, I think that's quite a lot. 18,000. It's probably over 20,000. Yeah, there's 20,000. Get any higher than that? 20,000. What's this bit down here? Separate source. To 5 or 6,000. 6,000. Was it looking like the day before? Try yesterday. Still packing a punch. We've got 3 sources here. So whatever, these are not just normal fires. It's some crap's burning to produce all this toxicity. Let's have a carbon dioxide. That's in the blue. You don't normally see blues in carbon dioxide on here. What's the normal? Oh, 430. And here it's 531, 558. Back a day. 530 there. on in the afternoon. See, it's a lot higher than the background. Particulates. Any particulates coming up? Oh, what's that? Small particulates. Background. 1 or 2 micrograms per cubic meter. And here we've got 1,981. Have we got a 2,000? Oh, 2,242. 2,446. Going up. Oh, that's 2,000, over 2,500 there. Check the previous days just to check that it's ongoing. Yeah. That looks as though it's getting worse day by day. What's this? Sulfate extinction. Extinction, that's a good fucking word for it, isn't it? Right. I'm going to check out the area in more detail now on Google Earth. So, the area where the fires are, it's north of Edmonton in Canada. Zooming. Where's Edmonton? And picked out a couple of spots and some funny little lines there. You know what they are? They look quite familiar, don't they? Look at all the little paths. Must be something down under the ground that they want to get at. Right. Any road. Pipelines and extractions. It goes all right across. I've lost my bearings now. Hang on. I have to zoom out with it. Don't tell me I didn't put a place mark on where I wanted to go. You bloody idiot. Hang on a sec. Right, I'm going to take you to the area where all these fires are breaking out. Oh, I did put a place mark. Give it. Right, a little town here called High Level, where all the high levels of noxious gases are coming from. They couldn't have named this place any better. It's got all roads leading out. Every direction. All the little. Just covers huge distances. They look like old drill points, abandoned, where they've dug in. So that's the area where the fires are. I'll get you a bit more detail on it in a moment. So where did I want to go next? Yeah, some articles on the terrain in that area. The dirty fight over Canadian tar sands oil. This is an article from 2000. the end of 2015 from the NRDC. Just south of the polar region's barren tundra, Canada's boreal forest provides 1.3 billion acres of wild habitat for a mind-boggling array of species, from large carnivores like grizzly bears, wolves and lynx, to nesting migratory birds, to thousands of plant varieties. Its trees and bogs capture vast amounts of climate-changing carbon pollution, and its wetlands filter millions of gallons of water. The Boreal is also home to hundreds of First Nations communities, many of whom rely on hunting, fishing and trapping for their livelihoods. Yet this pristine paradise is central to one of today's most contentious debates about dirty energy. It's a conversation with origins dating back 300 years, when British explorer James Knight noted the gum or pitch that flows out of the banks of what is now Canada's Athabasca River. That's what we're doing to it. Knight was describing tar sands, a sludgy deposit of sand, clay, water and sticky black bitumen that lies beneath northern Alberta's boreal forest in a region the size of Florida. Extracting and converting tar sands into usable fuel is a hugely expensive, energy and water-intensive endeavour that involves strip mining giant swaths of land and creating loads of toxic waste and air and water pollution. And it goes on. Oh, well, I'll leave you the link to this if you want to read it all. Got another article, slightly more recent, from The Guardian. Canada's most shameful environmental secret must not remain hidden. This is from near the end of 2017. Tar sands have been dubbed the largest and most destructive industrial project in human history, and Canada is on the forefront of their exploitation. The Canadian government has been in Bonn touting Canada's climate plan. It will be joined by Canadian oil companies working to put a green hue on Canadian tar sands, but the world should not be fooled. The truth is, Canada cannot yet meet its own arguably weak climate targets. Trudeau's putting an end to that, isn't he? The country plans to expand oil and gas production despite evidence that this is inconsistent with Paris goals. Then there's the issue of the toxic sludge of waste products from Canada's tar sands destruction, which form what are known as tailings ponds. As of this year, this is 18 months ago, so they'll be worse now, probably double. These ponds hold 1 trillion litres of sludge that is unlike any other industrial byproduct in the world. They contain a unique cocktail of toxic chemicals and hydrocarbons that will remain in molasses-like suspension for centuries if left alone, or if they catch fire. These open, unlined ponds currently cover 220 square kilometres, an area of land equivalent to 73 New York Central Parks. A single tailings pond, the Mildred Lake Settling Basin, has been identified by the United States Department of the Interior as the world's largest dam. These tailing ponds made international headlines in 2008 when 1,600 ducks flew into one of them. The resulting imagery of animals coated in oil was a powerful reminder of the costs of our global oil addiction. For fuck's sake. I'll leave you the link to this one as well. If you want to carry on reading that. I don't. So then I thought I'd have a look at this Mildred Lake that was on about. So this is on Zoom Earth. I typed in Mildred Lake and search. And as you see, this is an old image from somewhere between 1999 and 2004. And there's nothing there. But when you zoom in, boom, there it is, 2016. So this wasn't there. This wasn't there in 2004. And now look at it. This is one of many, but this is the biggest one. It's full of, they just dump all the shit in it. And it's probably really flammable. It's all hydrocarbons. I think the bastards have caught fire. At least 3 of them. And they'll never put it out. Scoot round the area. Yeah, something for you to do. On Zoom Earth, it's free. Type in Mildred Lake. Zoom in. Get the latest imagery. And have a fly around. And have a look. See what shit you can find there. For yourselves. So now I want to show you the latest news on Twitter. Tweet. Let's refresh this. Where's it gone? Oh, come back. Thought I'd lost it. Here's some images. I just typed in. What did I type in? High level. Just type in high level. Top image. The Chuckag Creek wildfire. The creek is burning out of control in the high level forest area to the southwest and west of the town high level. The wildfire has been very active today and has crossed Highway 58 approximately 20 kilometres west of the town. Look at fucking images of this. No wonder there's so much smoke and shit coming up. That's bad. Cell service lost as level 6 wildfire burns out of control in high level. High level 6 is the worst it can get. It's going level fucking 9, level 10, this bastard. They'll never put these out. Not that all that shit's burning. It's all been evacuated. Approximately 4,000 residents of high level are being evacuated due to the threat of an encroaching wildfire. I think the toxic fucking air will kill you before the fire gets anywhere near you. More pictures. State of emergency, I'm not surprised. Put residents under evacuation alert.
Emergency. Emergency. Emergency.
Wow. It's like a thundercloud. It's going right to the top of the atmosphere. It's been generating some heat there. Oh, this is bad. I was worried about what was going on in Siberia. This puts pales it into insignificance. Evacuation order. Oh, look at that. It's apocalyptic. Very scary sky. You could say that again. That's whoa. This is shocking. Absolutely shocking over there. An update for Albertans who have been affected by the Chucky Egg Creek wildfire. Dear God. They're just going to keep getting the same pictures now. Oh, there's another one. Fuck me. Right, now we're going to give you a little update on the sulfur dioxide emissions near the soon-to-be second most polluted city on the planet, Norilsk. It's about to be overtaken by events in Canada, I think. Right, at this moment we've got what looks like low levels. It looks like it's calmed down quite a lot, but don't let that fool you because we've got quite a breeze of 26 kilometres an hour, which spreads it out really quick. I'm sure this would be in the thousands if we had still air, couple light breeze. Yesterday you could see it was 790 on that spot. It's just, this is still continuous, on and on and on. Does seem to slightly lowered, very slightly. Not getting them 2000s at the moment, but all that could change. I've found a different diagram, excuse me, of the Siberian craton. This one shows that it actually extends further to the north and over to the coast of the Laptev Sea. And I've been watching out for earthquakes along the edge of the craton. And I'll show you where they've struck. So this is the source of the emissions. And then on the 11th we had this 4.8 earthquake, which is on the edge of the craton. Then on the 15th we had a 4.9. Let's zoom out a bit so you can see the edge there, and it goes round, and the lake marks the southern boundary, and then it goes up and around the bend, and that was followed by a smaller 3.6 nearby. And then just a couple of days ago we got a 4.8 up here. And I'll just go back to the craton diagram. It's right there on the borderline there. So we've got earthquakes here, 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 and here. And I was just looking at this, and I was thinking about what I've learnt from Dutchy Boy. 4.8, 4.9, 4.8, equidistant spacing. Isn't that weird? Same strength earthquakes, equidistant apart. And if there's rings on here, it'd be where the rings overlap. And I'm just thinking, I'm going to predict an earthquake. Because we've had this 3.8, which is a magnitude step down from the 4.9. So if it's gone from there to there to there, so if it goes the other way, from this 4.8, we should get a 3.7 right here on the coast of Yana Bay in the next day or two, in the next few days. So there's Nostradamus' earthquake prediction. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you this. The site of the emissions is now clearly visible via satellite. Remember, it was just, you couldn't see it because of all the ice. It's still ice there, it's melted it all away. That's the little hole, and this was the source of most of the emissions. It's melted the ice away now. This is where all the sulfur dioxide's coming up. You can still see the emissions coming out. It's not too cloudy. But between them two there, you can see it quite clearly. Absolutely mad. Right, I'd like to finish up with my thoughts on the 2019 upcoming hurricane season. Right, so as you may know, the Atlantic hurricane season started early. And we had that little tropical storm Andrea, which formed off Bermuda. I'll just read a couple of paragraphs. The Atlantic hurricane season doesn't begin until the 1st of June, but, according to the US National Hurricane Center, the first named storm of the year has already been and gone. Subtropical storm Andrea formed on Monday between Bermuda and the Bahamas. By Atlantic standards, it was a very weak storm. Maximum wind gusts were estimated at around 50 miles per hour. It was extremely short-lived, spending just 3/4 of a day at tropical storm strength before dissipating into little more than a cluster of thunderstorms passing close to Bermuda. Quite notable how early it developed in the year. Wait till them seas get a little bit warmer. We won't get such puny little Andreas. Anyway, this is what they're going to call the Atlantic storms this year. So we've already had Andrea. We've got Barry the Bastard coming, and Chantal Lee, and Dorian. Some of these other names. What's coming? Gusty Gabriel, Nasty Nesta, Horrible Olga, Pissy Pablo, that'll be a rainmaker. These Tempest Tanya, and end up with Windy Wendy. Bagum. I think they're going to be record-breaking storms this year because El Nino's not formed. As you may know, when you've got a strong El Nino, it sort of calms down the hurricane season. When you've not got El Nino, that's when you get a busy Atlantic storm season. So I reckon we're going to get some monsters this year. Major storms. Well, it's going to be the summer of storms after all. We've got one developing right now. In the Eastern Pacific, 20% chance of formation in the next 2 days, 40% chance by the beginning of next week. Where's this going? Locally, heavy rains are likely to continue in Central America as the system remains near stationary during the next few days. Interesting to know how warm the seas are around there. I'm going to have a quick look while I'm here. Bear with. Let's have a look on Null School. Oh, lovely planet we used to live on. Hey ho. What do we want? Ocean, currents, now. Sea surface temperature anomalies. Yeah, it's quite warm down here. We've got a warm patch. 2 degrees above normal. So we could see this develop and start shifting. They normally go out towards the west and then curl back. These usually sometimes end up around the Baja Peninsula. What's the Gulf doing? Doesn't seem to be as hot as it was last year. Remember last year it was scorching. There's time yet. It's warming up round the Florida Panhandle. What is the actual temperature? What's the magic number? It's about 85, isn't it, Fahrenheit? What we got down here? Oh yeah, if that moves over this warm water here, we're going to get quite a powerful storm with this. What's 40% chance? 100% chance if it goes over this. Going back to the names, I think you could do a sweepstakes with your friends and family, as to which one's going to be the biggest bitch or bastard before the end of the season. That'd be quite fun. So there you have it. I'm going to sign off now. I'm still working on my nature documentary and hope to have it finished before we all die, as paradise on earth is transformed into hell on earth. I would like to give massive thanks to Margot for her research, which helped me immensely with my Canada report. Love to you all. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till next time. Oh, and listen to my little tune in the description box. Goodbye.